a mixed bag.
It is. I always say, for Iron Fist, I was recommending it to my friend. I'm like, look, watch it. It's a slow start kind of.
Yeah, it's a slow burner. That's what it is.
Yeah, it gets good at the end. It really does. The fight scenes are nice, especially with the chick. I forget her name.
This Ming. What's her name?
Yeah, the female lead.
Yeah, the female. Well, she stole the show. She was perfect.
Oh yeah, she was
Colleen
awesome.
Wing. That's the character's name. That's the character's name.
Oh man, her character was awesome. She
was
did,
hot too.
the choreography was done so well with her.
Yeah.
So much better than the actor who played Danny Rand. Not that he did a bad job. He didn't. He did a good job, but
that's not a good sign if the supporting characters steal the show from the main character that we're supposed to care about. And speaking of the choreography, I thought, and I mentioned this in my review for Iron Fist, I thought the choreography wasn't 100%. It was a little inconsistent. At times it didn't look finished, or at times it looked like the actors that were fighting in the show didn't get enough practice in, or didn't practice really well, or didn't hire the best actors to do the fighting choreography. And then there are certain points where the choreography looked convincing, and then sometimes it didn't look that convincing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that that series was actually rushed.
Yeah, it felt like it was.
It was. They rushed the development on it because they actually weren't going to do it.
And they also needed to get the vendors ready.
Right. They weren't going to do Iron Fist because they didn't believe they had the budget to do it.
Yeah.
Because of the special effects with the magic elements and all that stuff. So that was actually until it came time to they didn't even have a full year to do it. With the other ones, you felt like there was a lot more production in the other 3 series.
Yeah, I remember waiting for Daredevil for the longest.
Yeah, and both seasons of Daredevil were fantastic.
I still feel season 1 was stronger, but I love season 2. The Punisher stole it, and speaking of which, he's still... I think production, filming just wrapped for the
it finished.
Punisher. Yep, and I saw some of the photos and it looks fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah,
but they haven't announced anything. They're keeping really quiet about this one.
Well, it's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, but they haven't no dates, nothing, not even hints.
I think it's going to be after Defenders.
Yeah.
So I would say probably around December time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see any other, unless they want to push it before, because doesn't Infinity War come out? It comes out next year. My bad.
Yeah, May 2018.
Yeah. What comes out in December?
Nothing. We have Thor Ragnarok
in November. That's what it is. Yeah. So it'll probably come out in December after Thor.
They don't in December though.
Yeah, well that's true.
Last Jedi.
Yeah. Which I talked about in my video.
Yeah.
A little bit. I didn't go too much into it, but
yeah, definitely.
But okay, so going in, who would you like to see in the Infinity War? Besides, obviously the current ones that we have in the cinematic universe.
From the Netflix series?
Let's say from the Netflix series. Who would you want to see in there? Most
out of all the 4?
Out of all of them, if they were gonna pick one, maybe 2 of them to be in Infinity War.
Right. If I had to pick one, and then I'll tell you if I had to pick 2. If I had to pick one, I would love to see Matt Murdock, Daredevil, in Infinity War, because he can also act as a representative or a lawyer of some kind to one of the heroes. He doesn't have to be Daredevil in the movie. He could just be Matt Murdock, and we can confirm further that it's the same universe. Even though there is mention about the incident in New York City, in New York, throughout the show in Daredevil. But the thing is that, despite all that references and the mentions and everything, it still does feel a little like a separate universe in a way. But
I think they want to keep it, in a sense like that, because they have their own stories.
They're street level heroes.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what the thing. And you don't see Iron Man fighting crime in the streets. He wouldn't worry about stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Only universal threats or threats.
Well, that's why in the comics you see Spider-Man interact a lot more with Daredevil.
With Daredevil and Luke Cage.
Yeah.
And Jessica Jones too.
So if there was someone,
if
someone was going to join Daredevil.
If someone had to join Daredevil, you probably have to throw in a private investigator in there. So get Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones?
I think so. Yeah, but what would she investigate? She would probably investigate what's going down on Earth.
Maybe. You want to know who my 2 would be?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, your 2.
I would say Daredevil and Claire Temple.
So no other hero, just Daredevil and Claire.
Claire Temple's a hero in her own right. In the comics,
in this version, she's not. In the comics, she's Night Nurse.
She's Night Nurse here. They just haven't established. They haven't given her name yet.
Nurse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why Claire? Oh, to aid the heroes.
To aid the heroes.
They're damaged in battle.
To aid the heroes because.
Yeah.
I mean, you play any video games, you need a healer, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, she doesn't have any special powers, but she can be there to help, the lesser heroes, so to speak.
Yeah, the ones that don't have powers, like Hawkeye.
Right, or even if they do have powers, but they're not like invincible or anything. Like even Spider-Man. Spider-Man, he's not invincible.
He does have a bit of a healing factor, though.
Yeah, he can take more hits and he can heal a little bit quicker, but he's not like Hulk. He's not like Thor, Yeah. So you got your frontline tanks, then you got your casters and your long distance. So Spider-Man would be like a fighter. He's not a tank.
Yeah, speed.
Exactly. If you're gonna give him a class, he would probably be like your rogue, right?
Yeah.
So, and then you got your backline white mages, which would be like Claire Temple and people who are supports.
Exactly.
Because I mean, we're talking about Thanos here.
Yeah. Big purple chin, wrinkly purple
big
chin.
Big boss who. He wins in the first half of the Infinity War, right? He kills everybody.
He kills everybody, yeah.
I hope they ended like that. Oh, man, I hope they ended like that.
The first part, yeah.
Yeah, first part. Oh, I would love that. That would be awesome.
And speaking of, like, two parts, and there was recent confirmation, actually, about Infinity War 1 and 2, part 1 and 2. They are not going to film it simultaneously anymore.
No?
No, they're going to be filming it separately now.
Probably scheduling conflicts, because I mean you got a lot of people you got to schedule stuff for.
Yeah, and there's over 67 characters appearing in Infinity War.
Oh crap, yeah, that's a lot.
67 characters.
But so they're not filming it back to back, but are they still going to be released the year after?
Supposedly, yes, still.
Okay.
But I don't know how that's going to turn out.
Because they're already in mid production for Infinity War, aren't they?
They started production in early mid-February.
Yeah, so they're like...
They already started filming. They've been filming since February.
Yeah, and they do like 9 months straight of filming.
No, a little less, actually.
A little less? I thought it was 9 months.
Not that much, man.
I know for Civil War, they did 9 months straight.
9 months of filming?
Or, well, the whole thing...
I think it was like 3.5 to film.
Not post-production. Everything with training and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, right.
So
filming itself can take only like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
3 months.
Filming itself could be rather quick, but, they don't... I mean, they film certain scenes at a time, right?
Right, yeah. They don't film they don't film it from like the way you see it in the movies. It's not from like beginning to end. They can film the end first.
Right, exactly. They'll skip around. They'll probably do the most strenuous parts first.
Yeah, and then like the dialogue scenes is like last or something. Or
so that's why because I saw the documentary on Civil War and it took it was either like 8 or 9 months because they were like, oh man, I remember Tom Holland. He was talking about. He's like, yeah, filming this takes about like 9 months to do. But he was like so excited to be a part of it.
Right.
I remember seeing that, and that's a long time. You're like away from everybody for 9 months because you can't.
I'm pretty sure there are breaks in between.
They got breaks, but I mean,
to go home and something like that. Right.
But that's a long time to be doing something so physical like that.
Yeah, but you're having fun out of it. That's the best part.
Yeah,
and you're getting paid pretty well. I mean, geez, you can't ask for a better job.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool though. Yeah, you would have to sacrifice something.
So. Where would you... I mean, I'm asking you because you're... this is your channel. You're a comic book guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where do you think Ragnarok is going to lead into Infinity War?
Yeah, that's a really good question because after Thor Ragnarok, it's going to get only crazier where characters are making guest appearances in other superhero films like you see in comic books frequently. Because Doctor Strange is also in the movie. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he appears.
He's in Ragnarok?
Yeah.
What, like a cameo or?
Like maybe for like a few minutes or so. He's gonna help Thor find Odin.
Now here's the other thing regarding Ragnarok. Okay, because we have Guardians coming out in May.
Right.
Next month.
Right.
Exactly. Actually, next week or 2 weeks.
May 5th, I believe.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So we have Guardians coming out. Are they gonna do a post-credit scene? To bridge the Guardians with the rest of the cast, or are they saving that for like Ragnarok?
There is gonna be a post-credit scene, but we don't know what. That's the thing.
Because I know that's what everybody's waiting for. They're waiting for that post-credit scene where, or any of the movies that bridges Guardians with the rest of the cast.
You know how like how the first film had a post-credit scene with Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Okay, so James Gunn, I think he mentioned something similar along the lines with that, but it's not gonna have to do anything with the other MCU films. It's just gonna be some sort of. Throwaway post-credit kind of thing, like a reference or Easter egg or something like that. There's plenty of Easter eggs in this one too, by the way. As far as where the MCU is headed after Thor Ragnarok, and after Infinity War, I really want to see a Secret Wars film.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be intense. A lot of the characters that from Secret War would be established by then.
Here's my only thing is we're getting into now like 2020, right?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is how old?
He's 51, 50. He's 50. He's pushing 50 now.
Okay, so by the time a movie like Secret Wars comes out, I don't think he'd be able to do that anymore.
They can de-age him like they did in Iron.
Well, it's not the age thing. It's like physical. I mean, it takes a lot of.
He's in shape.
Hey, Hugh Jackman's in shape too,
and he's 49.
But it does a lot to a person, like mentally and physically. I mean, it's very taxing on a person to do movies like this over and over and over. That's why Robert Downey Jr. He's like, okay, I'll sign my contracts, but only as like appearances in other movies.
That's what he's doing. Yeah, he's not doing a dedicated Iron Man film anymore.
Yeah. I mean, although I did read a recent interview that he said he could do one more Iron Man.
He wanted to do 4.
He could do a part 4, and then that would be it.
But Jesus, if you're gonna do a 4, include the damn real Mandarin this time. Not some friggin' bozo actor, you know.
Well, I mean, they were going off of the comics.
Yeah.
You know that comic, anyways. That comic, because
it was the biggest middle finger to us, I think.
Well, I mean, it was the extremist line.
I know the extremist line. The trailer though deceived us.
Yeah, it did.
It was like, God, you thought you were gonna get the Mandarin.
Well, here's the other thing too. They established in the first movie, the Mandarin's gang.
Yeah. As it turns out, there is a one shot about the Mandarin. He does exist. But.
Yeah. So, you know, it was in the first movie. They established the Mandarin in the first movie very briefly. If you didn't pay attention. But they did talk about, what is it, like the 10 rings? Or
Yeah, the 10 rings, yeah.
So they talked about the 10 rings really briefly in part 1. You know, so if you decide to go back and watch the very first Iron Man movie again.
It's still good, though.
Yeah, it still holds up.
It's amazing.
But yeah, that's in there. So I'd be okay, like, if they did another retake on the Mandarin. I think if they ever did an Iron Man 4, it would probably be Tony Stark passing the torch on to somebody else as Iron Man. I know you wouldn't want it, but I think that's what would happen. He would still exist as Iron Man, Tony Stark, but like only if he needed to. You know, kind of like when Bruce Wayne got older, he was looking for someone to replace him.
No, I wouldn't want that. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, I wouldn't want it.
I just think that's something that they would probably be looking into, and I'm sure they have been looking into, especially now we have the new Iron Woman or Iron Man.
Her name is Ironheart.
Ironheart.
Riri Williams, 15-year-old genius prodigy.
Well, there you go. See, I mean, they're doing all sorts of new ones. You have the what's the new Hulk called?
The totally awesome, incredible Hulk. I think.
See, there you go. Amadeus Cho.
He's an Asian guy.
Which, to be fair, Amadeus Cho, he's a good character. I like him.
Yeah, I haven't read much about him.
And they didn't get rid of Bruce Banner or anything like that. Bruce Banner still exists.
You think that? Well, he's dead.
Well,
he died in Civil War too.
He's Bruce Banner. He's the Hulk. He's gonna come back.
Yeah, he's gonna come back. It's never 100% clear in Marvel. Characters don't die. I mean, like Jean Grey died 10 times. She did. It's like, okay, it's getting a little old.
Well, and then we had the death of Spider-Man, and then they merged the universes together.
Yeah, that's Ultimate Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 616 is alive.
Yeah.
And then Peter Parker from 616, the Amazing, died, and Dr. Octopus became the superior Spider-Man when he took over Peter's brain. But then
what wasn't it at that point that he was like, oh my god, Peter was holding back the entire time?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, Peter has an intense abundance of strength. And he can kill people with one punch if he wanted to. He's done so before.
One punch!
I'm inserting that in like just a quick cutaway clip of the One Punch Man, which will take over this conversation right here. But yeah, I'm doing that. But yeah, Peter Parker does have an immense amounts of strength, and he does hold back when he punches. Fun fact, actually, the Scorpion even talked about what it's like to fight Spider-Man.
Yeah?
Yeah, he mentioned that punching Spider-Man is like hitting cement.
Holy crap.
Because Spider-Man has a really hard body, and like he's despite him being like, very skinny, his physique though is like that of like surpass of an athlete, an Olympic athlete. So
that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I mean, I'm like really out of touch with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Spider-Man's awesome.
I'm actually behind on a lot of storylines. I didn't read Civil War 2.
He can lift 20 tons. Did you know that?
No, I thought it was 10. He can lift 20?
Yeah. Like, under stress, he can lift 20.
Oh, okay, all the adrenaline.
Yeah, and everything. Yeah, but 10 tons is in